Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope all of y'all have been able to get out and either go fishing or hunting or do something. The weather here in the central United States has really turned off nice. It's been a little bit cooler. It's been cool for a couple of weeks now with highs in the 70s and lows down in the 50s. And as you can see, it's resulted in cooler water temperatures. We got water temperatures right at 70 degrees and fished a couple times with it down in the 60s, but it's really turning on and been a great time. On today's video, here we are catching a fish there. On today's video, I've done two things. One, I showed the ClearView imaging with the Livescope imaging off to the right, and this, I wouldn't recommend doing this for fishing purposes, because whenever I'm fishing, I like to have my Livescope covering the entire screen. But what I did here was I wanted to show you just a comparison between the two. This is what's happening in real time. As you can see on the Livescope side of things, you see where the 0 is. Straight down is what you're getting on the ClearView side. So that's where that scroll is coming through. As you can see here, I'm fishing it's actually like a lay down, or like a stump, whatever you want to think of it as. But you can see I'm fishing the structure there out, in front of the boat. And if I was just using traditional ClearView, I wouldn't even be able to see it. As you can see, there's nothing there. But with Livescope, I'm able to see the fish and, try to fish for them and catch them. So that's just kind of a comparison of, what you're able to see with the Livescope versus just the ClearView. And also, I guess for people who may not have Livescope, it gives you an idea of whenever you do go across some structure, maybe you can translate what you're seeing on your ClearView or your down imaging, whether you're using Humminbird, Garmin, Lowrance, Raymire, any type of sonar, but that's using that ClearView type of imaging. You're getting these kind of signatures, and this is what it looks like in real time, what we're seeing with the Livescope. Well, that's kind of the first half of the video, and I'm going to, in the second half of this video, I'm going to be explaining kind of what I've talked about as, I don't know necessarily a hack, but a way that, I've had comments about how is you've got such a clear image, and part of that is, of course, the way that the transducer is set up. So I won't go into that now, because in the middle of the video, I'm going to do a good job of explaining it. But the way the transducer is set up for this first half of this video is it's set up so I can see the structure better. And in the second half of this video, after I kind of go through the tutorial, you will see how you can see the fish and the bait better. This particular clip here, I'm just moving from one piece of structure to another piece of structure. So there's nothing there. I'm just kind of wandering. Of course, you can see some fish there, but I'm going to show you here. I'm actually going to catch a fish, but it's always kind of a good reminder, if you're moving, 30 yards or 100 yards or whatever you're doing, you don't have to just pick up and turn and burn. There's, you may see a fish in between there is what I'm going to do, is what I'll see here. And then I've seen some other videos or some other fishermen talk about sniping. They call it sniping bogeys, but where you actually find a fish that's, not holding anything, and actually able to catch just that fish. So here on this video, you can see this bigger signature at the bottom. I'm going to come right over top of it, kind of drip it down. It got his attention. I'm going to go down to the ground and then come right back up. Here he comes. Boom, he hit it. So that was kind of cool. But here I am kind of explaining the Livescope setup. Alright guys, so I'm filming this not with the camera, but with the iPad. So it's going to be a little bit shaky, but I want to try and explain to everybody how my Livescope is so clear. So as you can see here, I've turned the transducer, and this is just so then you can see it. But see where the arrow is? There's forward, and I've got it one click above forward. Now what this will do, you'll see on this video, the second half of the video, and I may even do a voiceover on it, but it's going to have, with the transducer set up like this. Now, of course, it's going to be in this up position, but it's going to be one click up. Now when you do this, let's see if I can back away from it here. You can't hardly see it. But this transducer, the bottom part here is parallel with the way that your trolling motor is running. So the bottom part of your transducer is going to be parallel with your trolling motor. Now the first part of the video, whenever I'm showing the ClearView with it'll have ClearView in the front, and then it'll have the Livescope in the back. It is actually running like this, which has your two arrows lined up. That will show you structure better. So notice how on the video with the ClearView in the front, and the only reason why I'm running ClearView is just to show the difference between ClearView and Livescope. But you're going to see the structure better because it's set up like this. Now, to see the fish and your bait and your egg sinker better, just one click. And I don't know if I've mentioned it in any of my other videos, but I know I've mentioned it to people that I've met and talked to. One click makes a huge difference as to where you're at. And on this one here, this click here is going to show you're going to be able to see your bait, and the egg sinker and the fish are going to be in view longer. And this one here is going to get you structure better. So that's play around with it on your own. But I'm telling you, that is where it is at. And of course, right here is the structure because you're on the forward. And this one here is where I like it. And I think that's where you're going to see it the best. So it will set up. And what it will do is it will make, so I can back up here. Like I said, it's going to make that bottom line is going to run parallel with your trolling motor. So yes, once again, I've hooked up with another bass, and kind of cool seeing the Livescope. The bass just kind of hang out there. This wasn't as big as the bass on the last video. Just a good little chunk smallmouth, but it was not hardly big enough to really pull drag, but yet didn't, was still putting up a good enough fight that I couldn't hardly get it flipped up in the boat on that light tackle. So you get to see it here, but I want to go back into kind of what we was talking about before I give the tutorial on how to set up your transducer, and that is talking about the clarity of the picture that I'm getting, which I've just run Livescope on the Garmin Force trolling motor. I've never actually ran it on any of the other trolling motors, such as the Minn Kotas or another one, but I do know that the Garmin trolling motor is brushless, so I don't know if it having that brushless motor gives it, a little bit less interference with with what you're seeing, or interferes with that transducer ring, but that is worth noting. So as I was explained, the first half of the video where I had the ClearView in with it was where we were running it to where you could see the structure better, where the two lines were lined up. Now I've given it just that one click, and already I can notice, and I think you will too, that the fish they appear brighter. You can see my line better. You can see the egg sinker better, and maybe you don't see the structure as well, but I just hooked up on one there. But for this style of fishing, where you're trying to locate fish and be able to get that bait either in front of them or as close to them as possible, and a lot of times those fish will strike or hit the bait and you won't never feel it. Like I said, if you have it set up with the perspective mount, you get the little sticker that tells you how to line everything up and, you know, go one click forward. If you don't have that sticker, like you seen earlier, make sure that the bottom of your transducer is parallel with your trolling motor. Just a couple little tips, but play around with it. I mean, yours may be set up a little bit different. You just, you know, it's not going to take too many clicks, because you do one more click and things are going to start getting real wonky with what you're seeing, and it is not going to look right. And I've run into individuals on the water that may not have it set up right, and they're like, well, I can see fish, but I don't really know what's going on. And you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at those instruction manuals. And most instances where people are talking about, I'm just not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing, or it doesn't look like yours, it's because the transducer is just not installed properly. So enjoy the videos. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank everyone who has subscribed, as those numbers are beginning to rise, and we're real tickled with that. We should be able to, with the fall coming in and days getting shorter, we do want to try to get some more content and expect to hopefully be getting some bigger fish and some more content. Another thing worth noting on this video here is everything you're seeing, I believe, is all new structure that I had never fished before on video. And a lot of this structure is just structure I found. So what I'm doing is I've fished the same stuff all summer, and I just got out and started exploring, and I'm having a really good time with it. So I hope y'all are enjoying, maybe not seeing the same, tree that has been in several of our other videos, and hopefully here in the future we're going to find even more new stuff and just keep bringing, fresh content out to you. So like I said, thanks for watching. So I'm editing this video, and I seen something I wanted to pop back in and talk to y'all about. This is set up to where I can see the fish better. Like I said, after the tutorial on the transducer, everything is set up with that one click above the forward view line. But here we have, I think it's a tree that's down. I think this here is more of the root wad, and the rest of it's kind of the maybe the top of the tree. Maybe it's two brush piles. I'm not sure. But you can see over on the left where the ClearView, you see this structure. Now this isn't the structure that's out in front of the boat. This is the structure that is under the boat. As you can see where we've already went over it. So what I'm fishing here, you're not seeing on the ClearView screen. That is what is moved over under the boat. So if you're using ClearView and you're kind of seeing that, and you're moving, there's a high possibility that you've already went over your structure, so you've missed it. So you may need to use something like a buoy marker or something of that nature. But that's just, I wanted to pop in and kind of tell you about that.